edition of Real Talk with Mo. I am your host, Awemo Yosuri. Mo or Misi, whichever one works. This show is built on addressing issues as they affect us, as they concern us. And today is not any different. We'll be discussing the topic, addressing the contemporary ideas of feminism and its impact on the movement in Nigeria. Feminism is built on discussing and talking about equality between the genders. And the female gender is the specificity. And here today we have guests that are going to help us address the misconceptions that surround this topic. Before we introduce the guests, we have live audience with us. Live audience, please. Thank you for being, will I say our labyrinth? No, I would say the chosen. Thank you for attending today's edition, and we subsequently hope to see you. We have the rescue team, yes, here with us. We have lecturer of the prestigious Ahmadu Bello University and students. To my right, I have Dr. Dominic, I have Miss Ivy, and I have Miss Cynthia. By the way, these Miss tags, it will end. I'm sorry. I have the right to do that, right? So please, to the audience, make welcome our guest today. Thank you so much for joining us today. Short notice, it's really an honor. Dr. Dominic, please could you tell us who you are, what you do, and the likes?
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Dominic James Aboy. I teach in the Department of English and Literary Studies at Ahmadu Bello University. I teach advanced creative writing, critical theory, Shakespeare and his contemporary. I'm interested in theory, and most importantly, this topic of discourse, that's feminism, falls under advanced critical theory. I'm a lover of animals, and I'm very interested in the environment.
Nature.
That's all I can say.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I hope it's safe to call you Doc.
Dominic will be fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Miss Ivy.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. Very honored. My name is Iveran Yua, popularly known as Ivy. I am a student of Building Department in Ahmadu Bello University.
Oh.
I am a poet, as I like to tell everybody. I am a poet, and I draw my source from arguments like this and reaching into the lives of people, because I am very, very keen on the point that a human being is a spectrum. So feminism brings a whole spectrum, a whole new light to women.
Yes, it does. That it does. Thank you very much. And last but not least, Miss Cynthia.
Okay, I can still hear the miss, but that's okay.
No formalities,
okay.
Just
like she rightly said, like you've rightly said, my name is Cynthia Baba. I don't know, am I still a student?
Preach.
Well, if she says I'm a student of AB Zaria, okay, I'm a student of AB Zaria, Theatre and Performing Arts. I write anything. Yeah, I think so far I've written a lot of things. I think it's safe to say I can write anything. So I love to write. I'm a content writer professionally.
Looking into making a video anytime soon, or just writing?
Well, I just write.
Okay.
Yeah, I just like to write.
Okay.
I like to say I'm a very simple person. Nothing is honestly that deep for me. So I can hear we have a theorist, we have a poet who likes, the spectrum.
For you, it's
I'm
not
just a simple girl. I'm just a girl.
The simple things of life.
Yes, I just like the simple things of life. Well, I'm honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And the final round. Thank you all once again for coming. It's really an honor having you guys here. Thank you. You are looking prim and proper. So should I say very respectful, very demure feminist?
Yeah, well. We can
Speaking
say
of,
that.
Miss Cynthia, are you a feminist? Do you believe in feminism? The likes? And finally, what do you think is feminism?
Okay. The word feminism has come to stay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I remember the first time I heard the word was after I looked up Chimamanda.
Oh, yes.
I think I was in...
If you encounter Chimamanda,
just one.
Feminism.
When Proper Hibiscus, I had read Proper Hibiscus, and I wanted to see who wrote the book.
Okay.
And, I started seeing the feminist thing. I didn't pay much attention to it then. But over the years, it has become a household name.
Yes.
Everybody talks about feminism. Everybody talks about, equality for women, equality of rights, men and women, and all of that. And I think that I understand the concept of it
Yes.
because we live in a society where women are seen as weaker
Yes.
vessels
Subdued.
than men. So I understand where the feminism movement is coming from and what they are proposing. But I would not say that I identify as a feminist.
Okay.
I've heard things like we should all be feminists as long as you're a woman, we're 70% feminist, and all of those things. But personally, I don't say that I am actively or I am pursuing for the movement. I think that, I get
But do you believe in the basis of equality?
Okay, so now when we say equality, that is a different thing entirely. Are we all equal? Let's start from there. Do we believe that everybody can be equal? Because when we fight for the rights of men and women to be equal, that means we should fight for the rights of this woman and the next woman to be equal. Is that something that is possible? Can all of us be equal?
But then I think the purpose of equality under feminism is based off gender.
Okay, so why?
This one will be based off class, based off social status.
So why do we pick out class and say we can be unequal as women? We can have higher women and lesser women. Okay. But when it comes to men and women, we have to be equal. I think charity begins at home. That's something my mom likes to say. So if we as women cannot fight for equality amongst women, why do we have to go out and begin to fight for equality between men and women? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the movement is wrong. But I just personally don't think that is something that is entirely possible. Mm-hmm. It's the intention is good. Yes. We are looking out for the rights of women. We want women to be comfortable and all of that. But when we put it under the tag of feminism and everything that it represents, is this something that is achievable?
I would like to add a point, but I want to hear your thoughts. Do you have some? Concerning my thoughts.
Yeah, you see, women cannot be the same, but can be given similar, if not the same, opportunity.
Okay.
When we talk about equality on this pedestal, we are making reference to the platform.
Okay.
If the likes of Chakravorty, Spivak, Gayatri, in one of her writings, Can the Subaltern Speak? Her argument is that women are always in the shadows, and she feels that women have been subalternized, the idea of self and the other. So when she talks about equality on this pedestal, it's about being given unlimited access just like anybody else. Of course, we are from different hues, different colors, different orientation, intellectual background. Even our assimilation capacities are different. So you don't expect people to be the same on that pedestal. So if you make the argument that women as women cannot be equal, of course they cannot. Some are more educated than the others, and unfortunately those that are not even educated are richer than others and determining the fate and destinies of others. So you cannot really put that on same scale. But the idea of gender justice, gender equality on the platform of feminism is about gaining access, gaining same opportunity, and giving the same, if not similar, liberties that men have in picking up positions and letting go, and women too should have that without either religious or cultural traditional expectations limiting them to have access or to make take such decisions and make such tough choices. So if I am going to look at feminism,
yes,
apart from those who are self-pronouncing it, apart from those who are living it, some people talk about it while others are being about it. I could count on our grandmothers who are called feminists without the pronouncement, without the theorization, without them talking about it. You see a grandmother taking care of a family. In fact, if we go down Catherine Achenolu's argument on modernism, women are never weak. There are countries, there are states, there are nations where women have taken on the leadership positions. They have led men to wars. We have them in the movies, we have them down history, we have them in our history books and all that. You know, so Catherine Chenelu's modernism here, you even look at the man as the firstborn son of the woman in a marriage or in a matrimonial ground, because she will take care of the man before the children come. And when the children come, she cooks, feeds the man, feeds the children. So you see, that's a power position. It just depends on the perspective or from what direction you are trying to look at it. But being a woman on this ground, the woman is very, very strong. And if we talk about feminism, I look at it from different prisms. And as far as the movement is concerned, it's still on, but works need to be done on clarification. I think that's what we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very
Exactly.
tempted
Needs
to
to be
ask you
clarified.
to ask you if you're a feminist, but I think along the way we'll get the answers to that. Thank you very much for. I think we really need to clap for this first round. Feels like a battle. Thank you too for those insightful comments. Ivy, when you hear feminism, what comes to mind first? What's the first thing that you think? Oh, feminism. This to you personally, your perspective.
Personally, because I've been exposed to so much media in this life, the first thing that comes to my mind is very negative.
Oh.
The first thing that comes to my mind is hate for men.
Bam! That is it.
Okay.
And it's like, because of the misconception that goes around of what is really feminism, because people do not know what feminism is, we do not know where we stand, we just get, there's no research done by individuals. So we just, whatever this person says, we take it. Whatever this person says, we take it. And then we just have people with differing views. So what comes up on my FYP, on my For You page, is people that hate men.
Yes.
And these people that, I know what feminism is to me. To me, feminism is equality. So how will I say I am equal to somebody that I hate? Practically hate myself.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is my school of thought.
Okay.
Yes.
So I want to ask.
Okay.
We have a room of people here.
Yes.
When you say equal opportunities, because I understand what, like I said, I've heard about equality and all of those things, and I personally, I do not see equality as something that we can. Yes, when we say equality, I mean, I stand to be corrected, but when you say equality, you mean absolutely. Is that what you mean?
Well,
because when you hear feminism, you hear equality. A man and a woman have to be either, there's equal platforms, equal opportunities. When you say this equality, do you mean absolutely that everything has to be balanced? It has to be equal. That's what I'm trying to understand.
I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from. Am I coming that on?
Yes.
Okay. I understand where you're coming from. You're saying that it is impossible to attain absolute equality.
I don't think it is impossible. I want you to help me understand how possible it will be, because, like I said, I'm not really into the movement and all of that. So I want to know. I'm happy to be here. I want to know how attainable this equality. Maybe I will change my mind today and become a feminist when I see that it is feasible for the equality.
Perspective to that.
Okay.
Chimamanda in Dear Ijewele, that is a feminist manifesto in 15 suggestions. And you would have to permit me, because of the language that she used in that context, and I'll quote, she said, "The knowledge of cooking does not come pre-installed in a woman's vagina." The point she's making here is, if a woman should be given or should be pushed into knowing how to cook in the kitchen, a boy, like a girl, that is always being coerced into the kitchen, go and cook for your brothers, go on. A boy, if that is done to a girl, a boy should also be treated in the same way, because the idea of going to the kitchen is not genetic. It's something that we can acquire. The idea of gender itself is a social construct. So when you talk about equality on this pedestal, is what is good for the goose is also.
So we also agree that what is bad for the men should also be applied.
No, because our biological setups are not the same.
Thank you.
Okay.
I mean,
No. Don't
clearing my understanding now.
What we are trying to do here is not mathematics.
No, of course.
Okay, it's not mathematics. There are grounds where 1 plus 1 is equals to 2.
Mm-hmm.
In a religious Judeo-Christian setting where marriage is involved,
It becomes
1 plus 1 is
It's
equals
one.
to. Then you might be in a wrong setting where 1 plus 1 is equals to 11, because you will have to pander to the people who are questioning or asking you. So sometimes these things are in different contexts.
Okay.
Okay, so when we talk about equality now, we're talking about workspace. Let's not forget the first feminism movement, the first wave,
Yes.
1848. It's all about women having political representation, having the right to vote, having the universal women's suffrage. And on that pedestal, even though it started from the West, America and the UK, you will not say African women also do not want political representation. So on that pedestal, if I can vote, you could vote. Equality, you get the point.
Okay.
You won't say, oh, because you're a woman, no, only men alone are going to vote. Or, oh, you are a woman of color, I'm white, so I have to vote. So we are looking at it from a platform where it's a humanist, liberalist perspective, where everybody should have a say in it. Like in the American Constitution, where they make the argument, I'll round up on this one so that we can pick up on it. The argument is we hold this truth to be self-evident, that all human beings are created equally, and each and every individual is blessed with certain inalienable rights, as was given to us by the Creator, among which are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So if you are going to have this life, to enjoy, you need liberty, and it is only in liberty that you can pursue happiness. So they are looking at it on that pedestal, on that spectrum, that if we have this, and everybody could enjoy it, everybody could fit into his divine or designated roles in society.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you so much for. I think you've been pushed a
No,
bit.
I think that maybe the movement should not just come with this is what we want. It should come with this is where we're coming from. Because like she said, when you go online, the information that you see does not give you enough knowledge to build your stance. People just come out and say, oh, I'm a feminist, this is what I want, this is what I do. How many people actually give you...
Some people abuse it.
How many people actually give you a background to doing that? I am not yet convinced, but he has made a good point.
I think that if you're curious about something, you would want to know what that thing is about. I don't know if you.
But
So if
how
you
much
want to-
information do we actually have outside
Oh, it's a
there?
lot.
I think this
Online
that are
brings
accurate.
us to the misconceptions.
Exactly. And so, I mean, if you're careful, if you cherish something so much as a movement, as a group of people, as a community of people, I think it is your responsibility
To push the
to
right
put it
information
out there,
forward. Yes.
the right
Yes.
information out
Yes.
there.
And you're
That's,
not
yes.
wrong.
that's
Yes,
just what I'm trying
yes,
to say.
I agree with
I
you.
agree.
I agree with you. Thank you for round 2. So on to the next set of questions. Miss Ivy, what do you take on the different types of feminism, and do you favor one over the other? Like, I prefer this one, or I think this one is better, things like that,
I say yes. Yes, I favor one
over the
over the others.
Okay.
Different types of feminism.
Yes.
You know, we have the liberal feminism,
Yes.
socialists, and then we have the radical. There are more, but I don't get the rest. So I don't know what
Let's
they
work.
are.
Let's work with those.
Let's
three.
work
Let's
with
work
this
with those.
thing.
three.
And first, I would say that I favor liberal feminism over the rest.
Okay.
Because that is where his point comes in. Having your freedom, having liberty, and having the right to
Pursue happiness.
pursue happiness. That's where liberal feminism is. When you now come to radical feminism, I believe that liberal feminism is what, if that is now the right information
Okay.
that should be pushed out.
Then
Okay.
Yes, because it is organized, it has a background, it has a present, and it has a way forward. That is how it stands. So if you are coming from here, you have liberty. Because you are human, you have liberty. And because you have liberty, you have the right to happiness. So you can pursue happiness. It is liberal, it is
yes,
free,
it's free.
it is freedom. And one of our basic human rights is what? The right to freedom.
Doc, your thoughts?
The idea of you see why we are having this problem with the movement is feminism is a very big bowl. It's a potpourri. It's a salad bowl, and unfortunately, some people in the movement pick and choose which they want in line with a given situation. And if we are going to stick to our guns and be true to our skeletons, so to speak, there are grounds, there are places where we should not be too choosy about what works and what doesn't work.
Yes.
Yeah, because this freedom you are talking about, if I have the freedom, if I need that same freedom, I should be also be willing to give it to another person. So if we are going to be free, we have to, they said, if you want peace, you should prepare for war. How many women with the same freedom, if we are going to war today, will be enlisted or go and be part of the army? How many? But you find that the so-called feminist, liberalist, humanist will not be there when it's time for us to be enlisted for a war. You find out that on that ground, it doesn't work for them. But if there is a CEO position to be acquired somewhere, my sisters will come out. Whether they are Marxist feminists, whether they are radical feminists, whether they will demand a pride of place for a woman there.
Everything that doesn't harm them.
Exactly.
Yes,
So,
I think that is a major problem.
and that is where our problem is coming from.
Yes.
But if we look at feminism as something that we rise to because of a demand for a given situation, the first movement, the first wave, like we observed, the women wanted the vote.
Yes.
The second movement was the women wanted sexual rights or reproduction rights
Yes.
and education, and also the soul. You see, there was a good demand. Then you find another movement. So there are demands, but it's like most of these demands have been met somehow by those movements. And this present movement have decided to look at it from like the word implies, from a very radical point of view.
Yes.
That even to a man, they demand, sometimes this radical movement demand things that even the 1% too have to fight for it. A woman is fighting a man over a position that even among men, only 1% of us have.
But I mean,
Not-
we said equal opportunity.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Women are not
That
there
the even among men, the movement is how these two genders can be on the same pedestal.
Yes.
But even among men, not all men are equal.
I'm sorry to see,
I
but I
think-
think I have a problem with that.
yes.
Because
Even-
if people are
even
saying
among
feminism,
men,
even
it still means that even among men,
the
that
1% of the 1%, we are on equal, we have equal opportunities.
So
but even
we're
in
more
that,
equal than you. So
No, what I'm trying to tell you is, if we are enlisted, I'll still use the idea of war. If we're all enlisted to go to this war, some of us are braver than others. Some could take a bullet. I could take a bullet and die, and somebody might have 2 bullets and leave. Somebody might be more tactical in the art of warfare than I am. Like we're in the studio now, people are playing different positions, different strokes for different folks.
yes,
I might be good now giving you theories about feminism, but technically I don't know anything.
true.
If you put me behind the cameras, I have nothing to contribute to you.
okay.
You get the point. So the point I'm saying is, what our radical feminists have failed to understand is, it's not on every ground that you are seeking a representation that is not needed.
Okay.
I'm going to say something here.
Okay.
That among, for instance, people feel that we're always fighting men for these better positions. These positions, not all men have it. That's the point I'm making. Because that 1% position, among hundreds of men, only 1% have that position.
So we
So
are
some-
trying to take everything.
Yeah,
Even when
yeah, you are demanding. There are women that have won the war because they are stronger than some men and are still fighting it. There's no point for it. You get the point? You find women who are
Are you
stronger.
seeing where I'm coming from?
Do you get my point? Where the movement has failed is not everything that is worth fighting for. You already have some certain graces. Enjoy it. That's my point.
I think that you have closed this thing with a shaky point. we have been graced with this, so we should take it. That is problematic in this sense.
I do not intend to take us back.
Okay.
Yeah.
But let me just say again,
Real quick.
equality, is that a possibility? Absolutely. Because when we begin to say, like he said, we are in the studio and
Yes.
everybody has a skill set that they've been blessed with.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. There's a cameraman right in front of us. He has the skill. You are good at theory. And I say, okay, I know that man, that young man there is a good camera. He has the skill. But for the sake of feminism, my dear, okay, let's assume you are the theorist as a woman. You and him, please, you have the same opportunity. Fight for the camera work. What's the point? We already know that this man has it in him.
I think I would like to add. I would like to
Okay.
correct that notion.
Yeah.
We're not fighting with ignorance. We know that this thing we can actually do it. Like it is something that a woman can do it, not based off whatever you think as she's just a woman. That's why she wants it. It's not about being just a woman,
Okay.
but being a woman that is educated enough to do it.
And I think that takes us to his point about political freedom, the rights to get an education,
Yeah.
freedom to, sexual freedom. There was a way you put
Yeah,
it.
reproductive.
Reproductive rights. I think that takes us to his point, which I think is one of the things he has said that I agree with. These are things that, he said the first movements had already been given. Why are we still fighting for this new movement?
Times
No.
change.
The point I'm making is about radical feminism.
Okay.
The radical feminism will even tell you, I don't even need a man to start with. But now somebody is knocking at your door 2 a.m. and moreover you can't sleep.
Okay.
You are trying to look for either, how many women know female gate men or megadi? How many do you know? How many women do you know? But the work is there if you want it. But even women will not employ female megadi. You see where I'm coming from? The idea here is the opportunity should not be denied whoever could take it.
Okay.
I should be avail the opportunity. Let the employer say, oh, but I prefer this one. But we will not say women should not apply.
Yes,
So
yes,
the
yes,
key
I
word
think that's-
here is, or the key term here is what they could do, not what they want.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
No,
If I want to be
no,
a...
it's no matter what, the opportunity to apply and be accepted should be open to all. But you should gauge what your talent or your capacity can handle.
Hence the
Okay.
education.
Okay.
Hence that's where I'm coming from.
Okay.
And then most importantly, the idea that I said, people are still fighting for what is not worth fighting for.
Okay.
I go by the same argument that not all of us, because the pitting of feminism, unfortunately, is in a patriarchal setting where men have dominated, and because women did not have a head start earlier than men did. So it is this opportunity for women to catch up on this platform where they could have all this representation that we are talking about.
Level playing field.
Yeah. So, but unfortunately, you find out that some certain things we do not need, just for the sake of it. You say, oh, a woman has to be here. There's gender bias. There are places you will not go to an Owambe, for instance, and you find you are eating good food. Everybody's enjoying it. You have fried chicken and all that, jollof, and then somebody will turn and say, but who are the cooks here? You look at the chief chef and look and say, you mean there's no man among those people cooking? The ones that are there, are they doing a good job or not? On that ground, there's no need, there's no struggle for a representation when nobody is willing to. Those that are doing it are doing okay, fine.
Okay.
You get the point. The bias comes from whereby you are not trying to win over anything or to better or to improve anything other than, no, we cannot take it. We have to be politically correct because the presence of a man must be here or a presence of a woman must be here.
Okay.
That's where we have the problems.
Those are really beautiful and different perspectives. For the next question, I want to ask Cynthia. You would know why when you hear the question.
Okay.
So,
Let's have it.
I think you would agree from the conversations we've had that there are misconceptions surrounding feminism. Do you have like examples? Like, can you pinpoint what these misconceptions are? Like, you've heard this. What really are these misconceptions?
I don't know if it is my place to talk about the misconceptions of
I
feminism.
think it is.
Considering that I am not an avid, is that the word?
Yes.
Avid
I'm
believer
asking
of the
this because
movement.
you are not, and you've heard some things
It
prior.
was-
Exactly.
I mean, we've heard some right here. Like she said, one of the things, like lately, there have been conversations about men preying on women. You know,
Yes.
there's so much that's going on. Women are being waylaid and kidnapped,
Harassed.
taking body parts here and there. Everywhere you turn, there's one gruesome story
What's the word for it?
of I don't know, is it organ trafficking or something?
I think, does anybody in the audience know
Organ
the word?
harvesting.
Organ
There's a
harvesting.
word for what?
Femicide.
Thank
Feminist.
you,
Oh, that's the word.
That's the word. Thank you.
So there's a
Femicide.
firm word for it.
It's not the firm word for it.
There's a firm word for it. That's good though. So do we? What happens when reverse is the case? When it's men?
Do we have
Do we have a word for it?
No.
men?
Man side, masculine
men,
side.
do you have it?
Men's side.
Men side. I'm sorry, I'm just curious. You know
No,
what I'm
it's
saying
really-
now?
it's really-
Okay, Abi is the one you call manslaughter. Is that it?
Oh, come on. Come on. You're on TV. You're on TV.
This is my bad.
Well,
Anyway, so that's one of the misconceptions. You know, women hate men. Let me talk about myself.
Okay.
As a woman,
Yes.
why will a man open the door for you? If a man, I don't need a man. I don't want a man to do this and that for me. As a woman, I can do it on my own. Ma, open the door for me.
That's
No stress me. I don't want to say I'm a woman, so, but I believe that women, like he said, are not
Yes.
weak.
Yeah,
But we come with this subtleness. Just this ease that women come with. This does not mean that there are no macho men and macho women. There are women who are tough. There are women who, you know, they are not. There are women, the ones that we call tomboys.
Yes. Okay.
But I think inside of every woman, there's a woman. Whether you like it or not, that is what I believe. That in all your toughness, in all your transgenderness, in all your lesbianism, that you are the man in the relationship, there's a woman in it. Whatever it is, there is a woman somewhere inside you. And so all these concepts of, men are this and women should not do this. I think that when we stand for equal platforms where everybody can represent themselves, that's fine. But when you now take it to the point where you say, if a woman should open the door, or a woman should propose to, a man should propose to, how do they say it? You know, things like that. Please, let us be women. Let me just be a woman.
What do you think? Your thoughts?
I feel like she's trying to say, and one of the things she's trying to say is that feminism should not just affect only women. It should be
Should be
something
humanism.
for
That is
everybody.
actually what
Exactly.
it is. That is
Yes.
actually what it is.
Now,
Equality
though.
for the genders.
Exactly.
That is feminism.
For the genders or for
Yes.
the female gender?
For the genders, the only problem is that
Because-
the men have already over time had the higher opportunities.
Okay.
Hence why we're just trying to, like he said, create a level playing ground. You've gone ahead, let us catch up. Allow us to get to the level that you are in right now. But it is actually for the gender.
I feel like most of the misconceptions come from
Thank you.
radical feminism.
Mm.
Almost all of it comes from radical feminism. They believe that men are not supposed to just be the head of anything.
I do not intend to keep
It's
us here,
tricky.
but I have a question. Please forgive my ignorance.
Okay.
When you say there is liberal feminism,
Yes.
there is radical feminism,
Mm.
and all of those things, is it okay to say what liberal or radical or all of it is feminism?
They are all feminism. Different approaches.
So
So the approach
It's
is
okay.
what makes it different.
Yes, the approach is what makes it
And
different.
because there are different approaches, it brings misconceptions.
so
Okay.
why are you people not talking to your radical siblings?
We'll hold off on that. We'll hold off on that.
Okay.
Doc, do you have a comment on this misconception?
Yeah, why they are all feminism is because it questions femininity, the idea of being a woman, the idea of being female, the idea of being genderized as an order in certain societies. So, which in whatever position we're taking, the woman takes center stage. And if it's about her, concerning her, or questioning her essence, then it will have to take a feminist dimension. But the approach is what has been the problem. One of the misconceptions now, we don't want to just put it only on radical feminism.
Okay.
There is the idea of also culture and social expectations and also religious values. When they tell you, maybe religious wise, you should submit to your husband, you can't access heaven except through your husband's this.
Yes.
Your outlook on life will have to be projected through that particular masculine mind or whatever.
Yes.
When you are raised with the notion that you don't need much after all, a man will take care of you, cultural wise. Can he take care of you? And now, I will come back to my point.
Okay.
This femicide, this. Why women are more victims of it is because of the misconstrued idea that a man should provide. You've not seen much men looking at, I have this, I have steez, I have sheep. Somebody will take care of me. Less men, I will not generalize, but you will not find 70% men depending on their looks to eke out a living or a daily bread.
And just to be clear, that is a misconception, I hope, of feminism. I mean,
The
in fact,
misconception is so many women have taken it upon themselves that being feminine itself,
is a right.
no, it gives them that right
Advantage.
and the leverage to demand for things and ask for things even without working for it.
So I'm saying that is, I'm trying to be clear, that is a misconception of feminism, right?
No,
I think it's more.
I'm
of
just
a
giving you
personality.
variables where people have gotten it wrong.
Yes.
You get my point. I'm
Yeah.
giving you variables where people have gotten it wrong.
Yeah,
If in
any
culture
woman
they
can
said,
let him do it.
get a man to take care of you, and probably the woman would have been stronger than the man if she had taken up the opportunity to better herself. But culture has said, why are you suffering yourself? Are you not a woman? The man will take care of you, and we're not all the same. So it's a misconception. She might be stronger. Religion might give you a different version, and then social expectations. You will get steez like this. You will fine like this.
How
You will do this. Why you go to
Yes.
all of these things? Then you'll be expecting. Then you give your power now, or you submit your power into the hands of a man that probably, if you had fought on
You
the
would
same
have been
pedestal,
better.
you would have been
been
stronger
better.
and better.
So we're saying that all these misconceptions, man hate, man slander, all these things.
Yeah.
They have they in any way affected the movement? What do you think, Ivy? Have they affected the movement? Do you think that the impact on the movement has taken a downturn, or do you think what are your thoughts really?
When you say man slander and man hate, I feel I've told you men are human beings. They are not void of emotions. So you can't say that men are the cause of the problems in the world. Women too can cause problems in this world. Yeah. So in feminism now, yeah, the movement has made it that some women look at men as the cause of their problems. So because they look at men as the cause of their problems now, everything that goes wrong in their life is attributed to a man.
And how has this affected the movement?
It has made it that now some people do not want to identify as feminists because now their mind has been corrupted that I hate a man, and if it's that I hate a man, I don't want to hate a man. I love a man, so I'm going to submit under that man eventually.
I agree with you. With these misconceptions around, I think it's safe to say that it actually affected your views on feminism, because you came here ready to dagger that thing.
And feminism, no.
Feminism has to be
Are you
cancelled.
sure?
I don't think it should be cancelled.
There's another very key misconception.
Okay.
In the audience, who is not on social media right now? Who is not using any social media handle? Do we have any? Let me hear you. Is there any?
No.
So you're not?
We are.
We're all
Okay, all of you are
I think
using
this is the
it.
generation of social media.
So you see, the problem is with this feminism is people make example with one person or with the worst example of the best candidate. You have a very successful actor, actress, CEO, this, and unfortunately, she happens to be single. Unfortunately, she's a single mama with a baby. Unfortunately, fortunately, she is rich, but she doesn't have a man on her own. She got a child outside wedlock and the rest, and she's on social media showing you big apartments. What did they call them? Flashy cars, V12 engines, all of these things, designer wear. She has endorsement, going for vacation, and she's flaunting herself out there on social media. Unfortunately, with the situation, social, cultural, social, political situation, some of us have moved from parental care and now we're on social media being given advice. And people now will now pick up, I don't need a man. Can't you see so person? Because this person, she's taking herself to dinner, she's doing this, she even has men to open this. So the idea of social media taking the worst example from probably one of the best candidates. So, and I have to remind us that a swallow doesn't make a summer. You don't base your argument or draw a conclusion based on a single evidence. So most times when you take just one single person who happened to be successful and unfortunately is lacking some social expectations, don't use that person as the best example. How many can you put together and say this is a this or this? We have the examples, I don't want to call them. So for every one person you have, you do not generalize. Can you have hundreds of them? So these are things we have to really ponder with regards to social media.
This has been really insightful. So I think that we can all point fingers to social media. Let's blame it a little for our woes in feminism.
I agree.
I think this is a family meeting.
Okay, I think I have a final question and I want to direct it to Doc.
Okay.
So, do you think that there is a difference between the feminism practiced from way back, the one we came to from the first wave to the second wave to the third wave, and even down to between that and what we have now, the feminism that we see now, the experiences that we have? Do you think that there is a difference between these practices?
Yes. In fact, the two feminisms are diametrically opposed to each other.
Oh, Jim.
Because, you see, the former feminists were not asking for credit. They are not asking to be put on social media. Now, if I want to give you something, somebody is taking a video and I want to post it. In fact, the act of giving has become content creation.
But that's not feminism.
I'm going somewhere.
Oh, okay.
So when you see people on the front row that they are fighting for women, they want to be put on newspaper. They want to have themselves on social media. So the motives sometimes have defeated the essence for which these opportunities are being fought for. Self-pronounced, whatever. But when you look at feminism in those days, there are no cameras. These women do not even call themselves feminist.
Okay.
They have embraced whatever opportunity or embraced whatever life has dealt out to them. I've seen women that are attending as family heads in a clan meeting where it's just men. So the feminism we have in the other was not for self-glorification. It was a survival anthem. How does it work? How do we survive? I have 5 children. Their father is dead. What I will do now, let me find how I can put together food and give these children. Now, the new feminism, I'm a single mother. I'm a single this.
Another
do is lie.
Another
misconception. Stay away from men.
You don't do this, you don't, and then 2 women want each other, they don't need men, and at the same time they adopted a byproduct of what a man and another woman has provided.
That's another ship that we do. Let's not enter the ship.
Okay. So the two feminisms are very, very different. Even though they are all important, I will not eradicate today's feminism. It has put us in check, it has humanized us. It has called men to the drawing table because we are not perfect, like she rightly observed. This new feminism has so much, like 90% good, because women are represented on political ground, women are represented in many grounds, but the few, probably 10%, unfortunately, has a louder voice socially, and it's unfortunately has given the other bigger lot a bad name.
You know, negativity brings in more money.
True.
Yes.
True.
Yes. To get the
True,
right
yes.
content out and to get the money, you have to push negativity.
So he said something that has been on my mind.
Okay, what's that?
He used the word he has brought feminism, or the movement now has brought about humanism. And I ask, why can't we just be human beings? Why do we have to be feminists? Why do we have to be men? Why do we have... If I am a woman, what if we are fighting for the representation of women, and there are women that don't even want to be represented, just living at home?
Then those...
What if we're fighting for the rights of, this and this and that, and there are women who are just comfortable going to the farm to get food for their children? The whatever that is here really does not, it's not a thing for them. What if we are just women and men?
I think that's where equity will come in, because if you want this, there are some other sets that don't want this. So because you want to be calm, you want to be...
Because
reserved,
we
you
spoke
want to be
about
docile, doesn't
freedom,
mean the others
happiness,
want to
and
do
all
that.
of that we spoke about at the beginning. What if these things are not the things that make life comfortable
You know,
for
you,
me?
you
as a
still have the
woman?
right to say no.
Freedom, do you? If that's what you want, then
What
by
if you
all
do not
means.
have the right to say no?
The right, what I do not have.
You
the
do not
right.
have the freedom to say no.
Okay, so when we put it out that as a woman I am being oppressed and I do not have the right to say no, let's take for example men now, not just women, who are slaves, whose rights have been taken away. I think when we say that we are fighting for all of us as human beings, I'm not saying that we cannot eradicate the movements. I cannot sit down now and say let's not do feminism anymore.
I think
It's
you
not
want
going
to say
work.
that. You want to say that.
She wants to
It's
say
work.
we should quit
But-
feminism and just be
but-
humans.
But I think that we should just, I think the point is for, if we are fighting for women and all of that, is for us to have passion as individuals, for women to have,
Their
safe
own
space,
personality.
for women to have safe space.
That's where to come in.
Do you understand that no matter what choice I decide to follow today, whatever I do, I'm just okay.
We'll take this
Where I am.
conversation of me and you. Me and you.
I want to quickly add that the feminism is needed
Okay.
because the times are changing.
Times are changing, true.
And the demand for this representation is very high.
Okay.
Let's not forget that in the realm where women are pushing this feminist, there's a video of a known Nigerian actress
Okay.
who came with her bodyguards to beat a automobile dealer whom she bought cars on credit on,
Okay.
and she did
About
not
the
pay
conversation.
back, and he's been calling her
Out on
and
the-
demanding, and she refused to answer him, and then they were in public and she confronted him. She came with her goons. In that kind of power, some other people might misconstrue it as, yes, she's a woman, she should tell him. These are some of the misconceptions we are talking about.
That's a heavy
I'm
misconception.
sure you
Yes,
people,
yes,
you people
because-
know this actress
Yes.
and this situation. You've seen it on your TV.
Yeah.
You've googled it and all that. So
Okay.
on that pedestal, you begin to question really.
I would
What
like
is
to
this
put a
about?
disclaimer out that it is...
I've not
There's
mentioned
no,
names.
no, I'm not talking about the names. I want to just say that if it is who I am thinking, I don't think that she's a feminist.
Tough.
Whether self-proclaimed, whether renowned, I'm
But
just
I mean,
putting
she's
it
even a
out
single
there.
mother. I mean, she ticks the boxes. She ticks
Okay.
the boxes.
Okay. I think I would like to give room for our studio audience. They are in the house. Once more, let's make your hands, make your hands. If there are any questions, comments, observations that you want, we are here now. Speak or forever remain silent. Questions that you always have equality. Yes, please. If we have questions, let's signify with raise of hands. Then, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I say this thing will go round? One. All right, 1.
Alright, good day everyone.
Good day.
My name is Evelyn Jaffe. I think the reason why we are here today is to make some basic clarification
Yes.
about the concept of feminism.
Mm.
But I still feel we are missing something.
Okay.
Feminism is a movement that advocates for rights for women and marginalized group.
Okay.
This marginalized group under
Yes.
feminism.
Yes.
And then the core value of feminism is empowerment. Empowering people for self-determination, self-actualization, realizing their dreams, hopes, and aspirations, and their abilities and aspiring to do something in the society. And then I have a question.
Okay, that was a clear up.
It's just a clear.
Thank you for that clear up.
Yes.
Thank you.
My question is directed to Dr. Dominic.
Okay.
You mentioned something that women are born with graces. They are born with some graces. Okay. Should the women accept the graces and be comfortable with it, or they should ask for more, or like something that is not part of their graces they can aspire for it?
Graces now is metaphoric. If you can clear what particularly you mean by graces.
Okay. From what you said, the graces mean women are born with some abilities, like some advantages.
Yeah.
Yes. So, should they access those advantages that they were born with it, or if there is anything, they should they be contented with it, or they can ask for more?
Yeah, thank you for that observation. The point here is, it's not about accepting it. It's what do you make of it, and what do you make with it, and how has it affected people, impacted them negatively or positively. If you are a mother, what kind of good mother are you, or bad mother are you? I believe every good mother is everybody's mother.
Yes.
You see? So if I have seen a situation where in a refugee camp, a woman who was breastfeeding a baby, unfortunately in a refugee camp, a mother who was also a nursing mother just died. And men carried the baby going around the camp, the baby is crying. Men in that position could not help. And this young woman came, they never knew she was a nursing mother, collected the baby and was breastfeeding her own baby on the left and that other baby on the right. You see, we have to understand that sometimes conscience is an open wound and only truth can heal it. And at the end of the day, St. Thomas Aquinas will tell us that the conscience is mind of man making, or woman making moral decisions. So that which you have, your grace, people could be transgender to have some of these graces, but that's conscience, that innermost fight is something you cannot create. I can make breasts, I can make ass, I can make BBL and transform myself. But there are things that are feminine, her grace, her courage, her behavior, her way of relating. Even when you are sick, when a woman is taking care of you, it's totally different.
Yes.
The raising of a child and the patience of a mother and the idea of the milk of human kindness, they are totally different. If a woman now changes, if we see a snake in this studio now, you see all the men will go out looking for weapons, we go on attack. Unfortunately, not because you are weak, but by your biological makeup, women might withdraw and say, are you not a man? You see what I'm saying? So I look at it in that direction.
Okay, I agree with you. I just want us to clear the point.
Yeah.
If the woman has that advantage of nurturing, then I think the problem is coming from the women. What I'm trying to say is that the woman has the ability, the grace, the advantage to nurture people in the family. The child, we made example with the first child. If the woman, with her empowerment of self-realization, will nurture this boy child to understand his place in the society, this boy child will understand how he should treat his sisters, how he should treat other women in the society. I think we will not be here.
No, we wouldn't.
We will not be here. So I
takes
think
us generations back.
Yes, because I was going to ask.
exactly because I've been thinking of where we are coming from.
And that's it.
And then if the woman understand this, I think this movement should be about creating awareness, critical thinking among the women to use their advantage of nurturing to help the family raise the children well. And these children, the men and the women, the children will be they should represent the family and the society.
Can you say
Very
Thank
well.
you. Okay, you want to answer something? I think that was a beautiful contribution. Thank you very much. Do you want to quickly want something?
I wanted to ask when you say family, like you mean
Immediate family.
Immediate.
The problem might not always be
before
from
we
the
now go
family.
to the society.
All right, for the second
Okay.
person, second
Good
question.
evening.
Good
Thank
evening.
you very much for this talk show. I really learned a lot.
Sorry, please.
Okay,
Before
my
you go,
name.
thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. My name is Amos James Etohana. Okay. While the conversations were going, I was like putting questions down, but I see every question that I put down.
Yes,
I really want to thank Dr. Dominic for being here. He did a lot of clarifications. Well, I would wish that we have a female Dr. Dominic.
Nice.
Wow, I hope you.
Nice.
Do you know how sexist that
Okay.
is sounded? That's no question.
Actually,
asked, no
because
questions
I would have loved it if a woman was actually speaking as
These words.
yes. Okay. I would the idea of feminism. For me, I look at they have already feminism had already been in existence even before the concept came into being, putting it out there. Because if you check, even from the family level, to be sincere, the woman has been in charge. The woman has always been in charge. The man goes out, comes back, and he feels that okay, he provides. Maybe for the part of physical strength is there, but if you check around, it has been the women that have been nurturing both the male child and the female child. So everything that they come out with, it has been that okay, it is the product of the women. And if you check around, like most families, if you check around, ask questions, it's the women behind the scene that have even been provided.
Yes, that's quite true. That's quite
It
true.
is the women behind the scenes. So you just see the man there, and they will just channel it to the men, and we are seeing the men that okay, this man is doing that, but actually
It's
within
the
the family
woman.
that being the women. I think that this generation of this feminist movement has, like, there's a lot of XX on it, and it's not moving well for the young girls of now.
Based off the misconceptions that we are
Yes.
discussing right now.
Yeah.
Yes, and
First, I have a question here. Just put them, okay. Like when Miss Cynthia was speaking, you said that there is a woman in every woman. I would like you to just
Explain.
yes on that.
Okay.
Or should I just go through my questions?
just go through your questions. Thank you.
Okay. What is the place? You mentioned liberalism. You mentioned
Liberal
equality. What's the place of equity when it comes to feminism? What is the place of equity? This I really want to understand. What is it that feminists are fighting for?
Okay.
Very
The
valid.
feminists of then and the feminists of now. What is your main? Is it that you want to be in power? Is it that you want to explore? I really
Basically,
want to
what
understand.
are feminists fighting
Yes.
for?
What are they fighting? This is what we are going for.
Okay.
That is it.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you. So, sorry, we'll just take
Okay, all the
comments
questions.
through and then we'll
Okay.
just take them
Okay,
together.
good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Yaya Teslim, a student of Ahmadu Bello University. Actually, I feel very happy to have witnessed this particular session. I, for one, whenever I hear the word feminism, I walk the other way. Yes, because
I hope you don't today.
well, today there might be a slightly different outcome
Okay.
because I feel like the whole idea is even the people that are pushing this idea, they do not understand it. There's this play I read once, More Than Dancing. It talks about how women strive to make the society understand that there's more to them than just entertainment tools.
Yes.
How they are meant for more than just pleasure, or there's a party, or yeah, where are the girls? Bring the girls here, let them come out. When I read that play, that for me that was the first time ever that I agreed with something close to feminism. Now let me bring it down to our current society. I don't think there's anything stopping a woman from wanting more in our current society. It depends on the individual. What I feel women now should be fighting against is that, I don't know how to put the word, how they have been sexualized, how we view women as just sex tools, because social media now is not even helping matters. When you just, for example, when I pick up my phone and I'm bored and I go to TikTok, the first thing on my feed is a woman shaking her buttocks. So when I scroll past that, eventually the next video is still going to be the same thing. How is this supposed to change my ideology of women being just
Sexual.
Yes, exactly. So what I think this generation of feminists should be fighting for is for them to be seen as more than just what we see them for. Because if you go into the world now, women are making waves. Women that know what they want. Women that know their capabilities, like Dr. Dominic said. Know your capabilities, know your capacities. You cannot come to somewhere that you are not qualified for something and be fighting for that thing. Who is going to answer you? Nobody. You are just pouring water inside baskets and it will not hold. So what I think should be happening in our current society is women fighting for the world to see them
as more than
yes
To change
to change the narrative.
just to change the whole narrative.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
That's-
very much. That was insightful. And we didn't even touch this perspective. I think that was really nice. The last comment, please.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Serena Samara, and they basically asked what I had in mind, but then I think I still have a couple more. Now, for a while now, people have had it difficult to identify with being feminist. You believe in what feminism seeks, but if they ask, are you a feminist? You're scared to identify as feminist. Why? Because if you open your phone now, if you check the internet and everything, see people's opinions, especially Twitter.
Case study.
There's a headquarter of misandry there.
Yes.
There's like a hate for men, bash men this, men that, men this, men that. And that has mixed with the aims of feminism. Now, there's a thin line between feminism and misandry. That's what they made it look like. What perpetuated this mix, this misconception of feminism as men hate? My first question.
Okay.
And secondly, I'm asking, does feminism seek to banish the idea of gender roles?
Very valid.
Valid.
Very valid. Please. Okay, so now we'll run back those questions. I think starting from you.
Okay.
He said something about woman in
Woman.
in-
I think before he asked this question, he helped me to explain what I meant. And Evelyn said something. That's the name. Evelyn said something before then. The place of a woman is to nurture, and that's what, for me, that is why for me I believe I'm not a feminist. I think that we have our place, God ordained, naturally. I
want to stop you there real quick. I think if I'm a feminist doesn't mean that I will not nurture. I don't know if you like if I'm a feminist doesn't mean that I won't nurture.
Well, I
won't
think
care.
that is where the feminists should now come together to clear these misconceptions and be clear about what they want.
Yeah.
Alright.
Because now we have liberal feminists, radical feminists. What are the radical feminists saying?
Patriarchy basically. They want to bring down the
Maybe they
temple of
want
patriarchy.
to abolish gender roles. Maybe.
That-
Can we say that is what
that
radical
could be-
feminism
yes,
is about?
That could be it.
And I'm
They
not
want to become men.
okay. It's the feminists that said it. Oh. They want to become men. And
Not quite.
I'm not up for that. And so like they both said, the place of women is to what? Is to nurture. It's natural. That's what I said. You said I think it was Mr. Dominic, Dr. Dominic that said both women will come together and say one is the husband, one is the wife. They don't need a man, they want to be together. Where do they go and find
The child to adopt
to-
from somebody. that
even the
could-
sperm and the egg that they put and they do insemination, the sperm has to come from a man. The egg will be with them. They will have to bring, and then you see, I think in most cases you hear if where two women are married, this one will give birth to the first child, the other one will give birth to the second child. They still take turns in doing it because this is something that women do naturally.
Okay.
And for me, that is what I was saying, that no matter what, no matter how much you stand to say today, man, me and this man, we will do this, I will do what a man can do, a woman can do better, what a man will do, I will do it more. There is inside of you, you will not change your nature.
So the woman in the
Yes,
woman is
no
still
matter
not
what you do, inside of you, there is that woman. No matter how you try to hide it, even if maybe that is not the goal, but even if you try to abolish gender roles, you try to say, oh, as a this and a man cannot do this for me. No matter how mature you are as a woman, I think that you cannot deny who you are.
Yes.
And that is a woman. I do not think that women should fold their hands and sit and men should provide. Like Evelyn rightly said, and I totally agree with her, in those days, guy, till today, you will see that there are men that go out and raise their children. If they tell you the things that their wives do in their businesses, if they tell you the things that women do behind the scenes to make, that is why they are helpmates. That is why I don't believe in equality. I believe in equity. We should be given opportunities. They might not be equal opportunities, but all of us are given opportunities that allow us to thrive.
Another kind of warmth, but we have to move past this kind of warmth. We have to move past it. About the question on gender roles, could you run it back a bit?
Does feminism seek to abolish the idea of gender roles?
I threw it out. Does feminism seek to abolish it?
No. In Ghana, for instance, there is a society that is matrifocal. It has a matrifocal base. So you go after the lineage of your mother, your parents, particularly the woman's side of your family. So if the woman is a queen and she is coming to the marriage, that is when she could have princesses and all that. If the man doesn't have royalty, he's not blue-blooded. So that's to tell you that the idea of gender role is a social construct. It's not genetic. It's not something that we can find in our chromosomes and genes. So feminism does not. It's an ideology, it's a movement, it's a theory. So it depends on how you apply it. In the context where the woman is stronger, and unfortunately she abuses that power, you get the point. You will not look at it in the manner that women just want to cut down men. Women are only, in the actual sense of what feminism is, gender justice, gender equality, is to say that unfortunately some of us have not been availed the opportunities you are enjoying. Why don't you bring us in? Why don't you give us the same opportunity to either choose to compete or not to? If we are equal, if we feel satisfied with what we are, we can remain this way.
Yes.
But we should not be denied that opportunity. And I will finish with this saying by Voltaire. He said, I may disagree with what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. So the feminist argument here is, I might not be in the position to provide for you, but I will never deny you the opportunity to fight for what
You want.
What you
Yes,
want.
yes. Place of freedom, place of justice. Thank you. I think it has really been an insightful one for me personally. I don't know about you.
I feel like I came here to learn a lot.
Honestly. Any last final words? I don't want to hear any from you. But fine, place of equality, place of justice.
Now, this is a
Place of
feminist
justice. Final words, nothing.
I honestly want you to understand that I do not have anything against the movement.
No problem.
Let me say that if being respected as a woman, if having, the freedom to breathe, which I think is a human right, if having the freedom to eat, to thrive, to grow, is feminism, we move. If they say that this and that, we are seized, you can't live, you can't be happy, you can't breathe, you can't what, it's not feminism. I just think that women and men should be respected, should enjoy the rights to live, the rights to thrive, the rights to explore and be better people.
At the end of the day, that is feminism.
There's a lot of misconceptions which the feminists need to put your thoughts together and arrange it, please.
Ivy.
And I just want to say that, if anything, we should really what Mr. Teslim said. we should really try to put it out there and
Mm.
change the
Narrative.
narrative of things.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because-
yes, yes.
Because it's a very bad outlook.
We need to do that. We really need to.
Yes.
Doc?
Yeah, it's so funny that the best feminists I know were so strong enough to submit to a man in order to take the power to make him a feminist. I can count like 5, but because of this is a social media world, we will not name names and begin to fight court battles. But there are about 5 women, self-pronounced feminists, that are married men and have children. They submitted to men to the point that the men are now in support of their movement and are putting resources, both human capital and other, in order to pursue and push across. So to clean up this is about the individual. Our individual
What you want.
perception is very, very important. If you are chasing cloud and you think by saying some radical things, you can paint a whole movement in a bad light. Your followers too should be able to decipher between what is right and what is wrong, so that at the end of the day we'll be able to push forward.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Feminism is not misandry. Feminism, is not I don't want to marry. Feminism is not a lot of things that it is right now. It is what a perspective that everybody have come to agree, equality. We want everybody to have a level playing field. Thank you all for joining us. I think you people should get together and co-author a book. It will sell. It will sell. Thank you to our studio audience. You guys have been amazing. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. To the director, the camera, the sound, everybody. Well, I'm really grateful. We are grateful that we have all come together to bring the show to a complete end. Join us same time, same place, when we decide. It was really nice having everybody here. It's a bye for now. Love and light. Catch you all later.